Good afternoon. This is a strange. Oh, my leg's dead. Oh, my leg's gone to sleep. Right, I'm not expecting anybody on today, but you never know. You never know. Very simple work today. I'm starting some stuff. I can't wait with Finnabar, Anna Dabrowski, sorry, and Olga Headwine. I always get it. I'm so sorry. I've got such a manc accent. It's terrible. So Olga and Anna, we're going to be doing this wonderful art. And in Manchester, we don't have H's. So it's a wonderful idea, and it's there for everybody who's right. I've got to move this because I think I'm on table. Right, hang on. Oh wait, it's all right. It's not you. Don't worry. It's me. Right, that's a table wobbling. That's not you. Right, okay. So, Moodaloo. All you need today is this, okay? And this, okay? And maybe even this. Right. So, you just need a pencil. I would use a black pen as well. Any sort of pen. I've got a whole ream of them here, which, I've ridiculous amount. I'll use that one. I'll use a finger pencil just in case. The only other thing you need really is something to draw around and a sketchbook. So I've got this little piece of square. Well, no, that's not a square. It's not a square. Right, okay. It's not square. It's an oblong. So I'm just going to go on and say hello. Hello, Leah. Hi, Mary. Hi, Tracy. I could tell you, Tracy, about your pencils. I could tell you all about pencils if you want to know. I noticed that you were talking to the other Tracy, and yeah, she's brilliant. And you asked about pencils, so I thought, oh, right, okay. If you do need any more help, I know you've probably all got it, but don't worry. So we've got Tracy, Leah, Tracy, Mary, Jenny. Come on, Jenny. Facebook user, Sue Russell. Facebook user. I know it's not. Hello, Claire. Anya, I loved it yesterday. We've got Sue Carrier. We might get people joining in. I hope so. And if you have not allowed access to Facebook, you might want to. Then I can see who you are. But a big shout out to all my patrons. I've sent you some digits, which I really love actually. So it's going to be for a wonderful thing we're doing this weekend and onwards, because it's a bit of an ongoing thing, isn't it? It's going to be wearing that crown a while, or maybe not. Right, so I have got a couple of templates. Sorry, the light's going in and out, in and out. I'm normally sat upstairs, so if you get Carola, beautiful, love your work. And drawing, the amount of people that say to me, I hope you can see, guys, because the lights, I'm going to cut that bush down. The amount of people that say to me, I can't draw. Right, okay. And I say, well, you weren't born walking, was you, or running? These are skills you learn, and you have to take step by step. So what are the building blocks? What are the building blocks of drawing? And you would not believe it's just a line. I know, thank you, reminder. Thank you, I know. It just annoys me, but yeah, I suppose it's got to do it. So the lines are really simple, but when you put them lines together, it creates a wonderful technique. Hello, Deborah. Hello. Oh, it's great to see everybody because I weren't expecting anybody today. So let's have a look at it. So now if this camera drops off, Anna, oh, I can't wait. And I'm so excited. Belinda, Oh, didn't realise. Well, Anna, I can't wait till Sunday and then Monday. And Belinda, I'm loving what you've been doing with those crazy steampunk animals. Love them. Anyway, let's just have a look at where it starts. Now, I am not touching on what we will, well, I sort of don't think I am touching on what we're going to be talking about with Olga and Anna, but I am touching on where I would start. So the first thing I need to do is give myself some guidelines. And the reason I do that is because when you're drawing anything, you try and look for everything and put it all in. So that's crazy hard to do. So what I'm going to do is just give myself some shapes, right? Now you can be as regimented as you want. Well, it would help if I had a bit of lead, bit of graphite, wouldn't it? Well, that ain't working. Oh, for God's sake. Right, so I'm just going to do a collage of line, like, so they sort of fit together. I'm not being too neat and, fantastical with them. I'm just drawing them. And I don't care about whether they're straight lines or not, because this is just a guideline. If I wanted to do nice long straight lines, I'd use a ruler. So I'm not using a ruler. So again, I'm doing it really rough because you'll get the point in a minute, I hope. I think I'll just cut that off there and that off there. This is just a piece of, oh, hello. I know, not long. Blathers. Right, sorry, I better calm down. So within this, I used to basically, it's like your stabilizers on your bike, okay? But people don't realise just by adding different weights of pencil and blah, you get different textures. Hi, Heidi. Sorry, Carol. Hi. Here's Blathers. Oh, I need lead in my pencil. Yeah, it's graphite. I always tell people off for that. Dawn. Oh, I hope you're all right. Good. Hi, Dad. It's lovely to see you. So let's get this. So I've got a number of lines and shapes here. You can go for circles in them if you want. Make it as interesting as you want. And then if you do use different shapes in your work, you will come across different problems or strategies that you need to create to get over these issues. So I'll show you what I mean. So I've just done these. Now, this is far easier for me because I need a guideline. I've always needed a guideline. Now, you can draw straight lines. I mean, I'm not bad at it myself, but I've been doing it a while. So it's, there we go. So it's all about creating boundaries, but not in your head, but just here, so you know where to stop. So you've got a beginning and an end. Because if you don't, we end up, I'll show you what I mean. When I say shade, I get this. Let me use it. Oh, no, I'll use this. I get this. I never said shade to a point, never said shade to a line, but people generally do that. So we're going to swap that out and we're going to put, these sort of into shapes. So what I'm going to do is, some of these are too big, so I'm going to divide them into interesting shapes. Now I'm doing this now so that it helps coming out. Hello, Helen. Hello, Helen. So, right, what I'm going to do is introduce you to the first line I'm going to use. Now, some of these might be too big, and if they are too big, I can change them. I'm using a 0.3, and a 0.3 is fairly good so you can see it. And I'm just going to draw a straight line. So I'm going to go from one side to the other. Now, if you find that this is a little bit tricky for you, right, you can have another piece of card there or a piece of tape. It doesn't matter. If you go Oh, look at that. If by magic, got two here. Hey. So if you wanted to put there, that's cool. So if you wanted to, you could almost use this as well. And I'll show you that. That's a bit further on. Okay, so let's go for line only. So I'm going to start here. Right, these are a couple of millimeters apart. I'm getting my muscle memory working, okay? So they're about generally, they're about the same. Now what the difficulty is joining them up, but we're not going to do that yet. So what we do, keep it going. Try to go right down to the bottom, looking at the distances and not where you end. You know, put your pen on when you start and draw. Now, you see, I lost concentration then, but that's okay because I know what I did wrong. So now I've got to watch the line. So I'm watching the pen move along. Okay. So I've got a series of lines. Now, another little trick we can do with this is start here, but not join them up. Now, this is allowing your shoulder, arm to retain muscle memory. Now, this is quite good because if you're left-handed, you start left to right, right to left, any way you want. Just make it comfortable for you. But as you can see, this is harder because I'm starting from the opposite side, and you should see a little gap forming. So you could use that for a number of things, couldn't you? You could just think, right, okay, I quite like that. Now let's take this and do it here, but this time we're adding more definition. So now I'm going to start, but as I come down, I'm going to make those lines come closer together. I'm not changing the weight of my pencil. So we'll start there. When I get to about halfway, can you see how much easier it is when there's a line? Ready? I'm bringing them closer. Right, can you see? I would go in then later on, but it's the first attempt. So how would I get that? On the next one, what you could do is when you feel more confident, you could add some more lines. However, another trick you could do is get a different nib. So you could go in with a note 1 and build, because I think that's bottom heavy now, but it's a good way of learning. Okay, it's a really good way of accessing muscle memory and knowing what to do with it. So we've got straight lines. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is taking the weight off as we lift. So we're going to lift off. So let's got a right mucky arm. Let's choose something and have a lift off. I'm going to work different ways. I'm not starting in the middle. I'm not interested in trying to create like middle end. I don't work like that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to start here and I'm going to lift before I get there. Okay. And this is quite, you sort of start, lift. And I'm trying my best. I got it. Now, you see how I had to move my pen around? And it was the weight of my pen because I didn't have my pen right. And this is a really good exercise. I started like that, but then I had to go to writing pose. There we go. This is another gradient way. Get me? So can you see now? There's only a couple that have gone over. So again, oh, hello, Selma. So again, I've got this gradient happening. The pressure, I now know in my arm that will be okay. Okay, so now let's go for something totally different. and I'm going to go with a curve. Now, if you go to my Amazon page, you will see all these in there. I don't put links on here. I could, but I don't. So I'm hopefully going to get better at that. So what I'm going to do now is what I would call a curly perm, but it's not, or a sheep or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But right. So now we're going to hold the pen upright. Right? You don't have to be totally perpendicular, but upright. And I'm just going to go, and I'm not taking my pen off. I'm trying to create the same line. Weight all over it. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is differ in this one, the circle and the weight. So I'm going to start big. A little. And then I'm going to join. So I'm going to change the weight. And you'll see it looks really mad at the moment, but you'll see there's a reason. So we're going to stop there. Can you see now how that's building up texture? So let's see if we do it now. We're going to go shape within shape. So more of a structured pattern. So this is just shape within shape. And then here what I'm going to do is a full. It's the shape of that is you'll get a round one. That's the muscle memory you need for that. Then you'll get a like that, and then you'll get a and then we go. Okay, so we can get like knitwear, anything, fabrics, stuff like that. So here what I'm going to do is I've got this here, and just then I'm just going to go and fill the inside so it's the same shape. Come on. Here it is all the same density. Here it's going over and over. Here it's, you know, big to small. Here we're filling in the shape. So let's try and get a pattern in here that there we go. So I've got light to dark, and it's it's tricky. It's tricky because you think it's all wrong, but it's not. It's actually right. It's actually perfect because you now know that you've got quite a nice flow on your arm. So just to what I want you to do now is think about what else, what other shapes would you put in yours? What else could you do? And some of them, I was like, sorry, I'm just going to have to. Somebody's just done something to my computer and it's gone all funny. So I'm just having to log in. So we're going to look at the shapes and we're going to say, right, okay, I'm looking for some, different sort of ways to work. So the next one is we're going to take this line, but we're going to do a diagonal and we're just going to do 4 like that. Oh, they're over there. Okay. So I'm just gonna hang on, it's still not gone now. Let me just click it. I do apologize. I don't normally go to this, but oh, I can't believe I've got to do this. So sorry. Oh, please come up. Please. No. Right. Bear with me, please. Right, okay. I'm okay now, I think. Right. Yeah. So I am so sorry. It doesn't normally happen this, does it? Normally I'm all right. But trust me. Anyway, I can see a bit better now. Sorry about that. It's just my computer has gone all funny, Belinda. My screen went off. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go now, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, one way on its own, this one was called hatching, and the one over the top is called cross hatching. But I want to show you some quite nice little ways of doing it. So changing weight and texture of cross hatching. Oops. I love being able to use line to describe things. I just love it. So this is taking hatching to a different level. Do you get me? So, you wouldn't normally sort of see it so exaggerated unless you was doing fabric or textile something, but or grain of some sort, but you can do whatever you want. So we've gone with that one now. So I'm going to take everything we've learned and I'm going to do a bit of this with a bit of this and a bit of this. So let's just take some shapes. So I'm going to go with this. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm just adding lines and I'm just going there. Now that was a play out, so let's try now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see? Start getting a pattern forming. So I'll do it again. And you can start to see, if you leave enough gap, you get a little pattern forming. But I could go like, and it's exactly the same. I'm just altering the weight of my pen and the lines. And that's hatching. So when you place these together, you can start to get really cool patterns happening where you are just playing with these. And then here, what you could do is add more pattern there. And this happens sometimes to look like stitching, or depends on, how neat you do it. So you've got like a really nice little structure. Okay, so just going to move this over a little bit. That's better. So we've created density line, and we're going to take this to the next level. So we're going to go line, dot, line, dot, line, dot, line. Now, I'm going to bring you a bit lower because it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to see this if I don't. Okay, I hope that's a bit better for you. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the lines with dots in. So if I show it you one, right, they're getting smaller and they're creating light. Okay, so we take some of these, this and this and this, and we're going to go, so we're going to create a little bit of, say, mood or emphasis or something. So we're going to go with some shapes. So it's all these. Bear in mind, this is a drawing practice. This is not you drawing. This is loosening up, okay? So it's really important that you get that idea that when you draw, you don't have to create a picture, real picture-like quality. You are just making marks on paper. The marks come together. You free up your mind. Don't worry about whether it looks rubbish or not, because believe it or not, if you was to put that in a picture frame, it'd look totally different. So we've done this, but now let's go back over and do cross hatching, and I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to darken it and leave it light. So closer. And darker, lighter, darker, lighter. So I need to bring in some lines in between. So let's do it. Can you see? Of course you can see. What a stupid thing to say. So let's go with one of the tricks of trying to get depth and darkness to your work is to allow yourself to do it the way you're okay and then go over it. So what do I mean? So here, I'm okay that I know I can draw with that amount of space and pressure. But if I want it lighter down here, all I have to do is go back over, do the same again. So do you remember when I was doing this? It's exactly the same. So we've got these. I like to fill up alt pages, so I'm just going to do a dot dash. Now, if you've noticed, a lot of my pattern is a dot and a dash. That's so now the pattern starts. You can add it to pattern. Here, let's go with so let's use all of these to change direction. Well, what do we mean by that? Well, you can go up and down, you can go side to side. So let's go with one of the easiest ways to start with if you're a little bit unsure is just get yourself a piece of paper, okay? And then go like that, okay? Take it off, put it back on. Boom. You've got direction. So I'll do it again. So I'll put my straight line there if you wish. Ooh. And then put it on this. Remember, don't try and move your arm or your body in a yoga pose. All you need to do is move your butt. So we've got direction. Now you don't have to get a massive straight line like that. Sorry, a precise straight line like that. The way I do it is without that line, so I'll show you. So let's go back this way. So we've gone that way, so let's go back this way. Okay, and let's go back this way. All I'm doing is there's no straight line, but I'm going to the place I was ended last time. And again. Okay, so how do we go around corners? Easy. We just do that. So what we do is we just fill in a gap. So you can see hills and landscapes, how that's easy to draw with it. Here we've got a feathered edge, so what we could do is feather it so you get a different edge, so it almost looks three-dimensional. I'll just finish this off though. Now that muscle memory on the warm-up really helped, so I'm just going to go and now I've created a bit of density on that side. If I do it to the edge, I now know it's going to be darker on one side. And if I go back to this and put more lines on, I've now got light and dark. So we've got a pattern forming, haven't we? Now we've got, let's look at some, this vermicelli, this one's called. I'm going to put a little line in there. Vermicelli. And vermicelli is where you don't touch each other, but I love this. You're going to have to be really close for this. You're not close enough. So it's a stitching term that, and you're making like, oh, crossed over. You don't want any lines crossing, you want them just filling. So I'll do it on a big version here. So you like that. That looks really cool like that, but nobody knows if you go over it, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to stop there and I'm going to show you the vermicelli, as I call it, how we use light and density and pressure and everything. So it's okay, so I've done a big version like that. Now what I do is just see where I want to go. Go back over. And now I'm getting a medium. I like medium and dark. So it's building up density there. Right, okay. This one, I'm just going to use C's. Oh, sorry. Don't be tempted to start doing this. That's what happens. Try and keep your C's in C shape. You can go back and forward. So I've gone, I'll show you here. Where I've gone C and then back over C and right. So let's do another little quickie one where we can do a really close vermicelli. Now what I'm going to do, there we go, I really like that. It's very soft, very light and airy. I'm just going to join some lines on here because I don't want it to just be, I like to experiment. And when I'm doing things, I don't always finish it that moment. I go back or I'll do more and I'll look at spaces and think, right, well, I could put one there. Now I know what I've got to do in that space, you know. So let's look at, I thought it was only going to be dead quick. As usual. Well, my Patreons are going to have a little bit more than this because you've already got this sheet that works with this, but I'm going to be doing more and more sort of drawing and painting lessons with them. So I'm just going to go trust the journey, and that's the one problem I think a lot of people have. They don't trust it, and you think, oh, I hate it, but if you'd hate it, it's not done. It's only done when you like it. Walk away, leave it, go with fresh eyes. Okay, so here I'm doing that lifting with a centre part that's open, and I scribbled there, and I'm not a lover of that, so I'm going to make that bit cross-hatched and darker. You see? So to compensate any areas that look dodgy, just go back in. So hatching and cross-hatching. Then I'm just going to bring some in to feather it like that. So you've got like an aperture opening. Okay. So now I'm going to do that one yet. There we go. Right. Okay. So let's get another shape. I'm just going to draw. There was another one I did. Oh yeah, it's a small one this because otherwise it'll take me ages. So we'll do this one here. Draw that into 3. Make that into 6. Okay. Pointillism. Now what I'm doing is I'm allowing my finger to rest on the page. I'm putting my pen in an upright position. And I'm allowing the pen to bounce. I'm not doing that because you'll get a hook. I'll show you what I mean. Like that, you can get a dot. When you start that, you'll start sliding it. Or like that, you'll get dashes, which is what I'm going to do in a bit. So I don't want dashes. I want it deliberately, not too fast. Now you can use your pens, pencils, anything to create tonal colours. So light, medium and dark colours. And then add the light, medium and dark pressure. And you get wonderful techniques. Now I do all my drawings with this. Always have done. The amount of people who are copying stuff, and you just wish you could say, get your own stuff. You know what I mean? But there's only so many marks and lines that you're going to be doing the same. So there we've got some pressure. Now, some light and dark. So now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it from the side. Okay. Can you see it's diagonal, 45 degrees, and I'm just bouncing my pen along. It's not as easy or controlled as that, but you can get the same effects. And if you want it more controlled, go back up, bring your pen up, and put some dots in that way, and you get a nice texture. So let's do, we had, while we're at it, let's get some hatching. That really is light hatching. So we'll repeat that. And then you get a really lovely effect if you want to then go over and add more. You can get a really nice density going. So let's go with now this one could be seen as like stitching, because you would do satin stitch very similar. And here I'm just joining all the lines. Come on. Oh, you're rubbish today. There. Now we're joining all the lines and creating that. So that's like that, but dense. And I'm trying to think of the others. Oh, I think I've got one on there. Oh, hang on. Right, okay. Where is it? Broad. Right, I'm using a broad tip or a brush tip now, just to show you how we can get density with a thicker pen. So I'm just going to go. So one way with a pen like that, that's just one, and then you see, let's do so we're adding pattern. And I'm using a pen, a brush, so you can get lots of effects with this. So what we've done is we've altered the tone, the pressures that we've got. Strong lines, thin lines. So I'm just how pattern forming happens, and then next minute you're like, oh, I've got a nice pattern happening there. So, and again, see, I'm trying to show you how just simple shapes, when different pens are added, different textures of pen, different weights of pressure, how all these, you know, have a huge impact. And if you wanted to create more dense, dark colours, then you would use a bigger pen, and it only makes sense. So the last one we're going to do is the dotty one here, but this time I'm going to use the brush pen, and I'm just going to show you the difference. So I'm starting, I've put dots everywhere, and then I know if I only want a few, I can leave it at that. Whereas if I go dense into the corner, then it's all got to be dense or darker. Whereas I might just want it a little bit darker and not going as far up the shape as this. There you go. So see the difference? Now if I wanted to darken this, there's nothing to stop me doing that, or creating a grey shade, and that's because the lines or dots are lighter, so you get a grey tone. So let's have a look now. What have we got? We've got your vermicelli, light, darker. Oh yeah, right. So we're going to try this here, which is just simple strokes that don't take your pen off, and you're going to go. So we're doing now where it crosses over. You can create more. So I'm going to create a little bit more density underneath. And you see it's starting to build more density here. So we've got that optical illusion of it being trompe-l'oeil painting, isn't it? So I'll show it you again. It's really easy, but that's very effective. So we'll draw another line. So I'll do it again just to show you, because it is really useful, this one. Right, so now I've let it get bigger. Different reasons, different meanings, different, needs. And then here, I'm able to go quite a number of times now and create a really dark, like, it's almost like the coat of dogs and animals fur. You would have an undercoat and you build up the depth like that, because it would be like your undercoat. Get me? Now I'm just going to do good old spirals. The spirals can be as hard or as easy as you want. But what you've got to do is decide on the shape you want. So if I draw an ellipse, which is a flattened circle, I get a totally different look. One of the little tricks I taught my students when I was doing a circle is to start by just going over twice. Like that. Now there's another way. Okay. Where you do that. And you go from out to in or in to out. So we'll do that again. Or whichever you feel comfortable with. So let's put that together. So there's your shell. Or as you go darker to the inside, you put more lines in. So let's go back to our little. So I'm making these fit. And accordingly, I'm not trying to put too many lines in or circles, because I want a space between them. So if it's small dots. So I'm going to do this with a paintbrush next for my Patreons. And we're going to build up shapes. But I think we've done quite a lot. Hey, we've not done an hour yet. So what other shape? Well, if you've got, cut yourself a shape, circle shape. It's one of the easiest. And that will help you with a spiral. That will help you with straight lines. And you see now, this is like it's opened up a whole new. You've now contained that in a shape. So all those raggedy lines now have more structure, and then you have a boundary, whether you want it that shape or not. They now got I'm using it with this because it's just quicker. Go with a bigger one for this. Different shapes. So let's go for lines getting nearer and further away. Let's go for that, but cross hatching. So they will. Let's get the word. Come on. It's got a Saturday morning feeling, this camera. So having that boundary around it allows you to go up to but not beyond that line. So I'm going to do a couple more just to show you how we're now going to take something else and then do the same that we've done, but let's go one step further with this with some circles. So I'm just going to go so now I'm just doing lines and dots. No doubt somebody else get it. I've produced that stamp. It's a stamp piece, as you would think. You know, I've created stamps like that. I've got more coming out like that. So let's try and do one of the others I did. Right, so I'm dotting all the way around. I am just so relaxed doing this. Take your time. You don't need to be as fast as me. No, there's no clock, watch or anything. Go at your own pace. Look at the shapes and the patterns. Do you need an extra dot there? If you go in that fast, you can just end up with it too dense in or lots of areas, or like I have done, I have got some dashes, and that's because I was too fast. That happens. So that's why I'm showing you what a difference it makes just doing it soft and simple like this. So I think everyone should practice this. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are. This is like a warm up. You'll see lots of figurative, realistic, photorealistic people, artists, sculptors who warm up by doing this. So I'm just going to do that to get that very light shading, and then I'll do a darker one underneath where I'm just going to leave a very small dot. Now I'm using a smaller aperture only because it does take time to produce this. So I'm going to decide where I want the aperture, like the light. And then darken the edges, and you can just see it's got like a little light there. Okay, let's go with one more. I hope this is making sense, because I do get a lot of people saying I can't draw. Well, if you can do this, you can draw. This is all that drawing is. It's nothing more than this. It's just a combination of lines, weights, all amalgamated into different shapes, figures, forms, patterns. The rest is up to you. How you put them together and the amount of pressure you put on your pen and the pen you're using all make a huge difference. So it's a bit like the ingredients can be given to everybody, the same ingredients. But how you weigh them out, oh, goodness me, how you weigh them out will make a huge impact on the results. So if you put too much salt in, you put too much of this, too much of that. So the idea of art to me is to learn how much you like certain things. So do I like a broader pen? There you go. You can see that's the vermicelli. Let's go with this, and I'll just show you because it's quite fun. I love that. This looks so cool. That's just that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another one, and I'm going to go. It's a sheep from behind. Give him a little tail there. That's terrible. I know. I know. So let's get him. There you go. Little sheep. Got a big head, that. Make him a bit curlier. So you can see all these little, that's terrible. But yeah, all these little shapes are. I'm not taking my pen off. I'm allowing my pen to do the work. I don't care what's happening. But I really like what I've got. And then what you can do is just add these little dots in. and you've got a softer. If I was to show you like that shape. Right, I've drawn that little apple, which is really dodgy, only using the lines we've done today. So all those lines put together, I've created that. So I don't want, oh, there's one thing I forgot to do. Oh, I forgot to do this one, right? And that is where we do the circles, but we create what we did with the lines. So have I got space there? I've got to do this one actually. Oh, I like that as well. Well, I haven't really got any space. I'll do it here. No, I'll do it there. Right. So we'll do this, and I'm just going to go. So we're doing the C's. There we go. So now that looks like fabric. Flower bud. Stylized flower. Cotton bud. And I mean as in cotton. So I'm going to just quickly now say, I can't see your comments, so I'll bring them up. Is it really helpful? Right. So I'm hoping that has helped you. I know it was a bit of an impromptu one because I wasn't planning on doing one, but the lovely Ada couldn't do it tonight. So I thought I'll pop in, do one. And then on Monday night, please, if you see the video, the advert, would you like and share it? But only to people you think would benefit, not to everybody. Some people just will get peed off if they get everything. So if you think that person's going to like what we're going to be doing and talking about, myself, Anna, and Olga, then please share it to them. But otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for your time. As always, I can only do what I think will help, and I know that sometimes these sort of really let me go back. These real sort of simple drawing things are missed out. So this is the basis for all of it. What you do and how you do it, that's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you on Monday night, but keep tuned for all the lines we've got. We do appreciate your support, and if we can, spread the love, perfect. So I'll say bye for now, and I'll see you Monday.